everybody. Hope everybody can see and hear me okay. Hope everyone had a great week and hope everybody's doing well. So, welcome to Embroidery Happy Hour. For those of you new, hi, I'm Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and just got two announcements to make before we head over to our debut or whatever it is. This little sewing room before I get to show you guys what I got going on. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it is like really cool. Everything is in its right place the way I want it. So I really wanted to share with you guys what I did. Okay. So the two announcements. The first one, for those of you guys that live within the Northern Virginia area, as you guys know, I have been hosting the embroidery club over at Susie's Quilt Shop in Manassas, Virginia. So I will be, the next time that I'm going to be hosting is going to be on October 18th at 10:30. And the topic is going to be everything about applique. So, if you're new to embroidery and stuff like that, and you're interested, and you're in that area, I'll be over there at Susie's Quilt Shop at 10:30 on Saturday. The second announcement, which is one that is kind of a lot of people's favorite, is the gift exchange. So as you guys know, those of you guys have been watching me for quite some time know that every year I do the annual gift exchange during the holidays. And I can't believe that here we are in 2025 and already walking mellow. I was, noticing people putting up Christmas tree decorations. And I'm kind of like, wow, I just can't believe this year has flown by so super fast. So, so here we are. Now I am starting to organize the gift exchange for this year. So just to give you guys some dates in case you want to join the gift exchange, let me give you some dates. I plan on posting the registration link on our Facebook group on October 20th. Okay. And then registration is only going to be open for 1 week and it's going to close on October 31st on actual Halloween. So the next day, everyone should have who, if you've registered and you joined, you will know who you're supposed to be giving a gift to. So for those of you guys that don't know what the gift exchange is all about, because maybe you're new or you haven't participated in the past or you just don't know about it, what I do every year is I host a gift exchange that's online. If you want to participate, all you have to do is register. And what will happen is after you register, you will be assigned a person for you to go ahead and create a gift so that you can mail it out to them. The whole purpose of this gift exchange is so that folks that sew, do any types of crafts and stuff can just give a gift to someone else that does that type of, crafting, sewing, embroidering, whatever your specialty is. And it's just to give someone else a gift. So I really like doing this because as creators, we usually give very creative gifts to a lot of friends, but sometimes our friends are not creators as we are. So we end up with like gift cards and stuff like that. And usually when you get a gift that someone has actually handmade for you, it's actually pretty awesome and pretty special. So I want to make sure that we can give that to each other. So that's why I usually host the gift exchange. So this will, I believe, be the 4th year that I am doing this. I think it's the 4th or the 5th. I'm not sure. I'll have to look back because I've done so many. I've even done the one during the Christmas holidays and people really kind of like them. They seem to be pretty popular and everyone really has like a really great time. So if you're considering registering, just keep an eye out on the Facebook group. And then what I will, and I will let you guys know where you can go to register and all that kind of stuff and just have fun with it. So just quick, just to recap, the link is going to be posted October 20th. Registration is going to end October 31st. Everyone that has registered must have their gifts mailed out by December 1st. And on the 19th of December is when I'm going to host a show and tell where everyone can go ahead and show off the gifts that they got from the person in the gift exchange. So that's going to be pretty cool, pretty awesome. I always love seeing what everyone makes. So anyway, guys, let's see what's been going on. All right, so as you guys know, the last 2 Fridays I have not been able to host Embroidery Happy Hour. Okay, we've got a lot going on. I had the sewing and crochet show with my sister and my mom. That was a lot of fun. I took a lot of classes doing embroidery and also serging. I got to hang out with the Crafty Puerto Rican and, got to hang out with the gang and stuff. And it was pretty cool. I really did enjoy myself. It was really, this year, I have to say, I really did like the classes. I really did. I mean, there have been in the past where I had taken some classes and I was kind of like, not feeling this too well, whatever. But, it was okay. But this year, I really picked some really awesome classes and I really liked it. One of the classes was learning how to quilt with your embroidery machine. And they gave us some really good tips. I'll be doing some videos on it because I'm going to be making quilts for my whole family this Christmas. So I'm actually going to be using those techniques that they taught us, and I'll make sure to videotape when I am quilting some of the quilts for my family because I'm definitely going to be using that. And also I took a couple of serger classes and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Got to meet up with some of the folks, that I've met through the channel and, that live within Northern Virginia, and they were all at the Sewing and Quilt Show. It was pretty cool. We had dinner at our usual place, which was Olive Garden. It was a lot of fun, and I liked it. Afterwards, I had to drive my mom back to Virginia, so I kind of helped her with a couple of things around the house and stuff. And I actually got to take my mom to see her brother too. Her brother has turned 96 this year, and my mom's birthday was actually that weekend. She turned 86. So we got to celebrate her birthday with her brother, and that was pretty cool. Really liked it. So it was really fun. So it was really nice quality time with the family. And then I got to help her around the house and stuff to make sure she was situated. Because, my mom's a widower, and, my dad passed away 2 years ago. She's still getting accustomed to living in the home alone and all that kind of stuff. So I felt kind of bad leaving her, but, I had to come back because, I had some orders waiting for me. I have a couple of bulk orders that I got to work on this weekend. So but it's okay. I'll end up, I'm thinking I'll probably go back in a couple of months to see her and hang out with her again and stuff like that. So anyway, so let's do this. Okay. So let's take a look at my sewing room. I can't wait till you guys see this. So this has been something that has been in the works for about over 2 months. I would say about 3 months that I have been working on this. As you guys know, my big thing is really embroidery, right? So this is my embroidery room that you see right here, okay? I have a couple of multi-needle machines behind me and stuff like that. This room has not changed at all, okay? I haven't really changed anything in this room for the simple fact that I am pretty happy with how everything is situated and how everything is kept. Okay. So I'm pretty content with this. However, though, I also wanted some space so that I can sew because you guys know I've been wanting to sew, but I haven't had, the time to really practice or really the space, right? Because this room is all about embroidery. Okay. Nothing but embroidery. So what I did was I took another bedroom from my house and I actually modified it to be my sewing room. Okay, so we took our basement and we created a bedroom in the basement for my son, which he actually likes a lot. And I'm gonna position you right here. He likes it a lot because in the basement it's kind of like, like he has his own little apartment, because once, people, they get big, they don't want to be around you anymore. They want to hang out by themselves. So anyway, let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so here I am at the door, and now I'm going to turn you guys around, and I'm going to show you exactly what the space looks like. And let me move this down. So this is what you see coming into the room. Okay, I know it doesn't look like much, but let's look at the space. I'm going to go by it inch by inch so that you can see what I did, what I put, why I put it there, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking that maybe this could help any of you guys that maybe want to do something like this so that you guys can see what it's like. Okay, so all right, so let's go over here. So as you can see right here, this is like the door, right? And then let's go over to this space right here so that you guys can see what I got going on over here. So here what I did was I just have like a little nightstand, okay? Now, in the nightstand, it's kind of empty. There's not anything in here. But I wanted to have this here because this is not just a sewing room. This is also a guest bedroom. And I'm going to show you when we get to the other wall over there so that you guys can see how this converts into a guest room, okay? And stuff. I actually got this idea from one of you guys a while ago, and this worked out fabulous. So I just wanted to show you guys. So like I said, I have my little nightstand here. Here I ended up putting a desk. This desk, just so that you guys know, okay, is actually one of those desks that go up and down, okay? So I have the little controls here. This desk raises, okay, so that you guys can see. I guess you guys can't see. This desk actually goes up and down. Okay, so I can raise it if I want to. Okay, and it can go as high as I want to, or I can lower it as well. Okay, so it's pretty neat. I kind of like it because, I have my iMac here. So in my embroidery room, what I did was I've been using my MacBook, and I have an iMac. So I figured the iMac would be really good right here, just in case I got to look up something for orders or something like that, right? So got my iMac here. Got my serger. This is my brother 3000 airflow serger. I did eat today. Okay. All right. So then guess if you guys are wondering what this is here, this is an actual design board. Okay. I actually just made this, and this is with batting, and this is so that when I am quilting, which now I'm in the process of making a quilt for my son, I can just lay the fabrics on here, and then I can see how my quilt's going to come out. Okay, so this is actually really big, and one of the things that I really like is that I can take this out. So this is like really, really huge. I just have it here against the wall, and whenever I want to use it, all I have to do is just pick it up, take it out, and I can lay it on the floor, lay it against the table or whatever, and it works just fine. So I think that this is really neat, and because it's so lightweight, to get it out of my way when I'm not using it, I can easily just put it behind this desk in this area. So I thought this was pretty neat. What I ended up also doing is I ended up getting another cart right here. So that way I can put all my sewing supplies in here. This works out really well. What I like about this is it's on wheels, so I can actually move this, and then I can access these drawers. This cabinet, I actually got this cabinet off of Amazon. Okay, and it's pretty good. I have, I can put my supplies in here. Okay, the drawers are really nice. They're roomy. This actually comes out like that. Came out, it's really nice. I kind of like it. I like the way it lays out, and I like that I have this space right here so I can lay out all my rulers right here on the side. Okay, and this came out pretty cool. So I kind of like this space. Now, this is my baby, okay? This table is actually from Arrow Sewing, okay? This is called the Laverne and Shirley sewing table, okay? So this is going to be pretty cool. I positioned my table right between my windows, and the reason why I wanted to do that is because it gave me a beautiful view, so that while I am sewing, I can look outside if I want to and enjoy, whatever, if it's snowing or raining or whatever. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. I actually got this lamp. This lamp is pretty cool. I got this off of Amazon. I thought this would be a good lamp for when I'm sewing. And let's say that, I need an extra light at night. So I got that. This is just a little stand for me to put my iPad on if I'm sewing and I'm looking at a video. So that way I can easily just reach and reverse the video and stuff like that. This is pretty cool. This is just my thread catcher. And this was a cute little thing that I got from Arrow Sewing when I ordered my cabinet. I thought this was so super cute. So, I've been keeping this on my table. So let me show you this table, okay? But before I do that, let's go around the whole room real quick, and then I will show you this at the end because there is a lot to this table, okay? So as you can see, right off the bat, I have my sewing machine right down there. This list, I'll show you exactly how all this works. And this actually opens up. It opens up from the front and it opens up from the back also. So I will show you all that stuff. I mean, it is really perfect for quilting. It really is. I love this thing. Okay. So, all right. So then from Amazon, I actually saw these cabinets. Now, these are like storage cabinets. Okay. And what I really loved about it, I thought they were so cool. Very simple to put together. I mean, and I love it because you get to open them from this side and they stack onto each other. And it pretty roomy, kind of sturdy. I really liked it. So I thought this was a great place for me to put my fabrics and for me to put my zippers. I also put other stuff like stuff that I used to clean. I got all my irons in here as well, so I put all my irons in here, my little ones, the big ones, and stuff like that. I mean, super cute. Got all my batting in this one right here. I just folded up all my batting and I just put it all in there. It came out really, I mean, it looks really nice. And right down here, I got all of my fabrics. And I really love the way this stuff opens up. As you can see, it opens up really nice. And, I was able to get everything nicely organized. Also, between here and the Murphy bed, I was able to put an ironing board. So this is like just a big old ironing board. And I just stick it in here in the middle, just in case I need something, a big ironing board for any type of ironing and stuff like that. So I had my little rocking chair right here. This rocking chair kind of means a lot to me. So I don't want to get rid of it. I kind of keep it in the room just for me because sometimes, I just like to sit in it and just relax. And sometimes I'll just put a movie on in my iMac and I just watch my movie here and stuff like that. I just didn't want to get rid of it. So I was like, I'll just keep it in the room and it's fine, And when I need the space, I can always just take this out. So like right now I'm going to take it out. So that way, and all I have to do is just, move it on the side. I can just move it on the side. It's okay. But I'll just put it right here by the closet door and stuff like that. Okay. So anyway. So for you guys that don't know what this big cabinet is, I actually got this idea from a subscriber. So as you can see, this is like where I have, storage stuff, right? My little cabinets that I got. This is where my sewing room can convert into a guest room. And what it is a Murphy bed. So this is actually something, I'm going to push it down so you guys can see. This is an actual bed. Okay, so look at that. Ain't that cool? So it's a twin size bed and very comfortable. All you have to do is just put sheets on it and stuff like that. And, your guests can stay right here. It's really nice. Fits right in here. I got this from Closet America. They actually made it for me. and stuff. And then when your guests are gone and stuff and they're no longer visiting, all you have to do is just lift this up and it closes. And there you go. I'm going to close this nicely. Done. There you go. So I got my space back. See? Ain't that cool? Love it. I love that. So anyway, that idea actually came from one of you guys because I was struggling because I wanted this to be my sewing space, but at the same time, I needed space for people to visit me, right? So one of you guys said Murphy bed. So I looked into it and loved the idea. So thank you guys. So this would not have been possible. I mean, you guys really gave me this idea. So this was like really awesome. Okay, so let's move on around the room. Okay, so now next to the bed, what I did was I purchased another one of these tables. Okay, now as you guys know, I have had one of these, and this is also in my embroidery room. And these are the tables that you can extend like this. Okay, and I got this from Michael's, okay, because I got this because I figured, let me get another one just in case I need another table for, laying out fabric or cutting or whatever, right? And then I have my cutting mat right here. And then this is a quilt that I finished for my cousin. And then I have my rotating cutting mat up here too if I need it as well. So this, I have this so that I can, cut it my stuff, so I have this as space if I need it, but I like that it folds down when I'm not using it. And then once I have it fold down, it fits really nice into this space. So I like that. It fits really nice into it. And then right next to it, what I did get was I got a printer stand. And the printer stand has my sublimation printer, and it also has my regular printer that I use to print out my invoices and everything like that, and a little bit of storage down there. So then I have my closet, okay, and my closet, I have a lot of my accessories in here, like batting, extra blankets, blanks, and stuff like that. It's just the regular stuff that I have in here. I also have my extra hooping and all that kind of stuff and everything. So I have everything kind of like nice and organized. So that's really the whole room in a nutshell. However, though, I want to show you guys that table that I got from Arrow Sewing because it really is neat. Okay. So I'm going to push my rocking chair out a little bit of my room because I want to have the space so that I can place you guys where you guys can actually see the magic happen. Okay. Now, let me put you guys over here so that you guys can actually see. Now, the Arrow Sewing table is actually this whole table that is right here. Okay. So let me show you what I love about this. What I like is that this top comes off, okay? And when I take it off, I kind of put it on the side. And I made this little sewing cover for my machine, okay? And I know I dropped my thread, and that's okay. Let me put this on the side here, and I'm going to cut my thread. There you go. All right, because I don't want it to be all over the place. I'll grab it. There it is. All right, because I dropped my thread. So there you go. All right. So let me show you what happens here, okay? So let me position you guys so that you guys can actually see this, all right? All right, sorry. I know you're a little dizzy. Sorry. Okay, all right, so here we go. All right, so let me see. I'm going to put you guys right here, or should I put you right here? I'm going to put you guys right here. All right, so as you can see, my sewing machine is down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push. Well, first I'm going to take these things out. This is a custom insert for my machine. I know it's hard for you guys to see because it's clear, but this is actually made for my Juki. Okay. Now I'm going to put this on the side here. And I'm going to get my knee lifter, okay? Because I love using my knee lifter. I use it a lot when I sew. So what I do is I push down, and when I push down, my machine goes up, okay? Now, as you can see, you can sew this way if you want to, but I kind of liked, I don't want my back to hurt or anything like that. So what I can do is I can push this down, and it stays down like this. So now it's because it's like that. That's where this little piece right here, the acrylic, which I know is hard for you guys to see, but there is a plastic piece in here. This actually fits right in here. And now I have an entirely flat surface for me to go ahead and sew. It's entirely flat, okay? I love this. This to me was like, ooh, I love it, okay? We're not done yet. This table has more magic to it. I'm telling you. This is one of the reasons why I wanted this table so bad, okay? I'm going to take this. I'm going to pull this out, okay? And as you can see, I'm pulling it all the way out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this, and I'm going to move this over. Okay? So as you guys see, I have all this space now, right? So this has like 4 holes that are in here. And what those holes are for is for ironing. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this right on here. So here is my ironing station. And then here's my cutting mat. I also have a rotating mat in case I need to rotate and stuff. And then I can take this and I can put this right here, okay? And it is like so cool that I have my little chair, and I'm right here. And then what I can do is I can take my little knee lift and I can put it right in here. And voila, I'm done. I'm good. I can start sewing, okay? I can sew, I can cut, and I can iron. Now, one of the things that I also did was, because I know that I'll be ironing here, what I did was I purchased a little extension that is sitting right on this table. So if I have a mini ironing board, a little iron, I can take that iron, I can plug it in right here in this little thing. And then I can go ahead and I can do my ironing and stuff. So this came out really cute. I love it. Now, the thing that I truly love about this is this table isn't expanded all the way. I can make this table bigger. And Nancy was like blown away. So let me show you what I can do, okay? This table is actually made for people that do quilts. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to push it back more. Okay. So let's push this back more. And everything is on wheels. So it makes it so much easier. It won't mess up your floor or anything. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, move this back. I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to push this back as towards me as well. Okay. So as you can see, that's why I kind of need the space, right? Because look at all the space now, right? Okay. So guys, check this out. Back here at this table, okay, I have another leaf. And I'm expanding this leaf. There we go. I have more room here. Okay, so let me bring you guys a little closer so that you guys can see how much space I have on this. Look at this table, guys. Look at this. I have all of this. Okay, so if you are sewing a quilt, okay, because quilts can be pretty long because they're pretty big. What about the cords? Do you have to keep them out? Absolutely, yes. The cords are underneath there. They have a space here for your cords of your machine. It goes right down here and it goes underneath in there too. Because as you can see, I have no cords in the way. Okay, and I can turn on my machine. Okay, no problem. See, my machine is on, no problem. And quilt, no problem. I mean, I can let's get this all out of the way. Okay, let's put our little bunny in here. I can just move this here. Here's my thread. I can keep my video going here if I want to. If I don't want to, that's fine. And as you can see, my lamp is still standing if I need it. Okay, so no issues here. Okay, this is as big as the table gets. I mean, I think this is like the quilter's dream because now I have nothing to space. I could just remove that stuff, put it on the other table, and I can have nothing but my blanket laying on here. Okay, and let's say you're just doing small projects and you don't need this big of a table. It's not a big deal. You can just fold these down, and then I wanted to show you guys because you said, I think it was somebody came out and said about the cords, just so that you can see how I have them. Okay, I'm hoping you guys can see it because I kind of have you the opposite way, but yeah, I just have an extension cord, guys. And as you can see, I have an extension cord. Nothing's in the way. It's all fine, That's how I have it. It's not underneath my feet. Nothing is disconnected. Everything is fine. So, yeah. So it works out okay. So, and let me see if I can give you guys a view from here. As you guys can see, like that's my front door. There's my desk and stuff. And then, I have more drawers there, my designer stuff. And then look at the quilting desk. Look how big it is. And then see how it goes out. So that's why the Murphy bed was so important to me. Because if you notice, right, and we're going to look on this side, here's the bed. And the bed is up against the wall. So I don't, I don't want a bed open if I don't have anybody here, right? It's just me. So this way I can use my sewing room and stuff. So I can really, exactly. Yes, Bernino, I am maximizing every inch. I really wanted it. So let's say I just need this. All I have to do is just close this up. Okay. Just move this down. Move this here. Just bring this down. Oh, see how it folds? Nice. No problem. Then when I come out here, like I said, it's on wheels, guys. So real easy. All I have to do is just push this back. And it's, I'm not going to say that it's like the lightest thing, okay? Because there is a little bit of weight to it because this is very good wood. But because it's on wheels, it does make it easier for you to go ahead and roll it back. It's not a big deal, right? And then there we go. So, and so that you guys can see the wires and stuff like that, let me give you guys another view here. Okay. I just have my extension cord back there. That's all I have. Okay. And then I have my foot pedal there and stuff. Nice clean area. Not a big deal. Everything seems to be nice. And then all I have to do is just take this and just push it towards me. And then right here. And then, like I said, all I have to do, it's a really nice, it's a nice area. I have lots of space here, and, I can just sew. And then I kind of like that I have this little bit of space here between there. So I just take this, I put this in here while I'm sewing. And then whenever I have threads, how sometimes you have threads and stuff, I'll just sew and I'll just throw the threads in there and stuff. So it's like pretty cool, And then I have my little foot pedal here, and it works fine. And let's say that let's say that I just want to use the big ironing board. I don't really want to use this little one, or, and I want to use that big table that I have that folds up as my cutting board. And I really don't want to use both of these areas, right? I don't want to do the sewing and I don't want to do the cutting here, okay? It's not a big deal. It's like all I have to do is just, there's a flap that's in here. So I just take this, I put this in here. Oops. Okay. Here we go. I just put this in here, nice and neat. I can pick this up. See how nicely it stacks in there? No issues. Then all I have to do is just take this, fold it over, fold this, take this, push it in, push it back, and I'm done. That's it. I got a nice little sewing table where I can do my sewing and stuff like that, and came out really good. Now, a couple of things that I want to share with you about this. This is the Laverne and Shirley sewing table that I got from Arrow Sewing. I actually purchased it through Sewing Parts Online, and it's an Arrow Sewing. This came in 5 separate boxes. All right, it is a put together, as everything else. I mean, I don't think people put together furniture or sell put together furniture anymore. It's very, very rare to get that. If you get it, you're going to be spending an arm and a leg. But this was not cheap either. I got it when it was on sale, and I used a coupon, so it was about like $2,000 just for the table. But it's the table with the custom insert, because you can get the table by itself if you want to. But if you do get something like this, I recommend that you get the custom insert, because as you can see on the sewing machine, it's very, very flush, right? So when you're sewing, it's like you're on a flat surface. It's like really cool, So it really does work out. So, and the thing is, the extra custom insert was about a little less than $200, right? So to me, it's like if you're spending this much on a table, you might as well just go ahead, splurge, and get the custom insert. Now, when I got the 5 boxes, I do have to say this about sewing parts online and Arrow Sewing. Their customer service, guys, was like phenomenal, off the charts. I mean, I could not be any happier. I had some challenges, and I'm going to tell you the challenges right now, but I'm going to tell you that I would buy from them again in a minute. I mean, it was awesome. Now, let me tell you the challenges I had. First of all, it came in 5 boxes, right? So when I saw the 5 boxes, I said, wow, I got a lot of work to do. So I got to have to put all this stuff together. So I said, fine, I'm just going to just do it. I'm retired. I ain't got nothing but time, right? So just do it, Jeanette. So that's what I did. So one of the things that I noticed when I started opening up the boxes was this top part right here was damaged. One of the corners was kind of like really messed up, and you could see. So I was right off the bat, I was like, great, I'm not happy, right? I called them up and I told them that one of the boards was damaged. They Federal Expressed that part to me right away. I was just like, oh, wow. Okay. So that was pretty cool to me. I mean, they were like, just send me a picture of the part damage, where it's damaged. Just send me the picture, tell me the part number, and we'll ship it to you. So, because I called Arrow Sewing support, and I will tell you, they shipped it to me, Federal Express. I got it in like 2 days. I was really, really amazed. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Then I started putting the item together piece by piece, right? I then noticed another part was damaged, which was one of the wheel caps, right? Called them up, they shipped that out. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Then came the time when I had to actually put together the airlift, the part where the sewing machine can go up and down. Well, I got to tell you, there's a block in there, and it came out. And once that comes out, when it's, before it's installed, it's damaged. You can't no longer use it. They had to ship a new one out to me, which I thought was really awesome, because I thought I broke it, but they were like, don't worry about it. Just send me a picture. We'll send you another one. The lady when I got the second one in for the airlift, I was actually afraid to install it incorrectly, because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to mess this up. That lady walked me through it step by step. They also had a video showing you how to install it step by step. They had a video showing you how to actually put this table together step by step, which I thought was awesome. It made the process really a lot easier, okay? Then when it came to the custom insert, I kind of like using my knee lift, right? So when I looked at the knee lift insert, this was originally a little bit too close. So it was like my legs were too close to the thing. So I was like, you know what? This custom insert isn't going to work, because I need the machine to be more to the right. I called them up. They walked me on how to measure it the way I wanted it. And within a week, I had a brand new custom insert. And I was kind of like, wow. So it took, it was a process, but I will tell you this. They really stand by their product. And I will tell you, I really love the customer service that I received from Sewing Parts Online and Arrow Sewing. Their customer service was phenomenal. I would buy again at a heartbeat, because they were really, really good. Any other company could have blew you off, or left you on hold for hours, or you could email them. They never called you or email you back or call you back and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. They answered their phone. They responded to my emails. They even stayed on the phone with me as I put the airlift together for the sewing machine. And I was really impressed. They were very professional. Lady was Chris that helped me at Arrow Sewing. So if you're watching, thank you. I mean, you were awesome. I mean, very, very patient. And I got to tell you, the quality of this table is really, really, really good. Now, the other table that I have right here, that came from Amazon, all right? You can tell the difference in the quality, all right? I'm not saying that this is a bad one, but I will tell you this. I can tell that this one is more solid than that one. I will tell you that, okay? I mean, I got this one. As you can see, it's a little lower. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be higher, like the same height as this, because as you can see, there's a difference in the height. I was hoping that this one would be, I should have measured it and I didn't, but it came, I put it together. I figured, oh, what the heck, I'll use it anyway. So I have it here. And I kind of like all the slots and everything. It's a little difference in the feel. Like this is a little more rougher and more solid. And this is okay, but it's just, you can kind of tell it's not as of a high quality as Arrow Sewing's wood. This is much better than that one. But this I got off of Amazon. It was nowhere near how much I paid for when I bought this. Okay. I mean, like I said, this was 2000. It's called the Lamerne Shirley. Okay. And I got to tell you, it's if you're really into sewing and you're really into quilting and stuff like that, to me, this table is really, really valuable because of the way it extends. Okay. How the back opens up. That way you don't have the quilt, falling off your table and stuff like that. So I thought that was like pretty cool. The other thing that they have that I did not, where is it? Did I put it in here? No. They sell something called quilt blocks. And the quilt blocks you put at the end, and I believe I have it here. Here it is. This is called a quilt block, and this is something that you put at the end of the table, okay? So when you are sewing, right, and you have your quilt, okay, when you're sewing, like let's say I have that leaf open, this I put on the leaf, okay? And I install this at the end. So that way, when I'm quilting, the blanket doesn't fall over and it stays on the actual table. So these are called quilt blocks for the sewing table, which, I ended up getting a pack of 2. So that way, because I'm going to be making some big, huge quilts. So they're probably going to be full size and queen size. So I don't want the quilt going all over the floor and stuff like that. You guys know I'm a little particular about that, especially when I'm working on customers' products. Their items don't touch the floor, okay? And I don't like that because it says something. I'm a firm believer of that. I feel that it says something. It's just, you just don't do it, okay? At least for me, But yeah, so anyway, so that, in a nutshell, guys, this is my sewing space. Okay, I love it. I like the turnout. I really do. I like the turnout. I like the way it came out. I like that I have my serger right next to it also. So if I have to serge, I can do it. I recently found out that a lot of quilters, what they do is they serge the ends of their quilts. And I did not know that. I thought they just bind them, but they actually serge it and then they bind it. So I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, so I got my serger here. I got some sewing equipment here. The next thing that I do want to do, because right now, as you can see, my walls are a little bit on the plain side. And I do plan on taking some of the stuff that I have from my embroidery room and placing it on the wall here to decorate a little bit more. Because right now it is a little bit on the plain side, but I do want to decorate it a little bit more. The only thing that I have up right now is this picture, which is something that my son drew when he was 5 years old. And I really liked it. So what I did was I went to Michael's and I had them do a custom frame of it. So that's the only picture that I have right now. And my cousin recently did a puzzle of threads. So I'm going to have that frame, and I'm probably going to put that up in this room as well. So yeah, so this is it, guys. This is the actual sewing room. This is my space. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I will say I reorganized this room several times because remember what I was telling you guys about, you know, when you have your room, you want to think about your process and how you sew and so that you can have things in the right place of when you need them. So I was thinking, like with quilting, a lot of the things is cutting, ironing, sewing, right? So I wanted to build a space so that I can do it. So this table to me kind of answered everything for me. I was able to do everything really nice. So, you know, and organize it well. And I like that I was able to fit in my design board, putting it in the back, because a design board is pretty important because you want to make sure that you have that visual of your blocks, right? You want to put them on there and you want to step back and you want to make sure that that's how you want your fabric to lay out. So that ended up really nice. I like that I can tuck it away in the corner right there. And then I can just easily just take it and put it, and I can put it up against this area right here, which is what I do. I usually take the design board and I just put it up against here. And then I'll just lay my fabric there to see where I actually want it to sew it. So this works out really, really well. And then what I really love is that when a guest comes over, and I close this up, right? And I close this up nicely. You know, I can just open up my bed. You know, I can open up the bed, and the person has the king side, you know, not king, their twin bed, and it's a comfortable bed. And then I have that little nightstand on the side where they can put their little items in there and stuff like that and everything. So, you know, I was at one time thinking about getting another one of these and putting it on the other side, but I do need my printer and all that kind of stuff. So I figured, you know, sometimes you can overthink things and then end up like doing too much of it. And then it's kind of like you don't have the room that you know, the space that you need when you need it. So, yeah, so this works for me. It's been working for me. It's been a work in progress. And like I said, I've been working on this room for about 2.5 months, something like that. My sister came. She fell in love with it. She liked it. She was trying to convince my mom to sleep in the basement with Carnito. That didn't work out though. So my mom was like, no. So, you know, so, but Nancy stayed up here most of the night sewing. So, but she really liked it because I asked her to try out the space, see how she felt about it. If she had any suggestions, because she's more of the sewer in the family, but it really worked out really well. And, you know, I have everything so handy, you know, I feel like everything's handy, even down to the rulers. I don't know if you guys saw, I have my rulers right on that table nicely, you know, and I have everything here. So it works out. It really works out. And I have my little cart here, you know, where I put everything here, and then I have stuff in my drawers as well. One of the things also that I really loved was when you open these drawers, look at this. They have the little pegboards for you to put your stuff in there. They give you two. They give you two of these. And these drawers are very, very, very roomy. You know, they really are. So I was able to really put things in there really nice and neat. Um, here's another pegboard. They give you all these extra pegs to put on there and stuff. So, I mean, works out really nicely. These are all, soft clothes also. They're soft clothes. These are not soft clothes. The one from Amazon are not soft clothes. Remember, sometimes you get what you pay for, right? This, I think, was a little less than $200. But, but this was soft clothes. You could tell that it's really, really good. It's solid. It's a solid piece of furniture. Worked out really, really well. So I'm really looking forward to using it and stuff. Yeah. So, and I really liked this table. Is something that I always had. I had it while I was working, that goes up and down. But now I get to use it in my sewing room. So, yeah. So let me move my rocking chair back in. This is like my favorite chair. Yeah. So, guys, let me go back into the embroidery room. And can you attach? I don't know if I can attach those wheels, Peggy, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's not I'm not gonna stress over that and stuff. I mean, I'm fine with it. Lesson learned, right? Next time you buy furniture, make sure you check that height, if you want it to go next to something. So, yeah, guys. So I wanted to show you guys what this new sewing room looked like, because it took a long time for me to, I drew it out on a paper, I looked at different tables and everything like that. And Arrow Sewing has a whole collection of sewing tables. And, and I was even thinking, should I really go on the cheap end? But I said, you know what, for the actual sewing table itself, where the machine was going to be placed on, one of the things that I noticed, okay, is that sometimes if you don't have the right type of sewing table and the machine is not at the correct height, your back can start to hurt after a while, because I know that was happening to me. I was starting to get my back would hurt and everything. And sometimes, it just made sewing kind of like not enjoyable, right? And I really wanted to get into it, because sometimes I do have moments where, I'm caught up on orders and stuff, and I want to be able to, do other things, do sewing for myself. So I wanted that space, but I wanted it so that I could really enjoy what I'm doing. I didn't want to hurt myself. So, I did notice that. It's like I would be sewing, and then after like 2 hours, my back was starting to hurt and everything. And I knew that it was because I didn't have the machine at the correct height and all that kind of stuff. So that is one of the reasons why I said, all right, instead of just getting a regular table and just smack the machine on top of it, let me look at what these sewing tables are all about. And the more research that I did into the sewing tables, the more that I kind of kept leaning towards the Arrow Sewing, the Arrow brand, because they actually specialized in that. And they had so many different combinations of sewing tables. You can, they have the high end, and then they also do have an economical one. You know what I mean? You don't have to like spend $2,000 like I did. They have other tables that were less. And but when I saw this one, I really felt like it fit the bill for me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet, even though it did my budget a little bit, because as you guys know, I'm trying really hard to save my money so that I could go to Texas, because I want to go to that sewing repair shop school. because I want to learn how to repair embroidery machines and how to maintain them. So I have to save about like 5,000 for that trip. So, there went 2,000 right on that table alone. But I figured that's okay. You know, I will eventually be able to save that money that I need to go to the trip. It's okay. If it gets delayed a little bit. Well, my goal is to go in 2026. So, yeah. So, I bit the bullet. I looked at it. I bit the bullet. I will say, when I first unpacked it and I saw that one part damaged, I was kind of pissed. I will say that. I was kind of like, what the heck? I spent all this money. Da, da, da. But when and then I'm like, here we go, because right away you start thinking, great, like, because, but I picked up that phone. They picked up they answered. I told them what happened, and they were like, oh, I'm so sorry. Don't worry. We got you. We're going to take care of you. And they did. And they were, I have to tell you, I mean, I thought they were going to think, oh, gosh, she's a pain in the ass. But I'm going to tell you, they were polite every time, and they came through. I mean, every time. And I would definitely go back and buy from them again. I am telling you. It's like, you still how I tell you guys, like when you're looking for digitizers, I want a digitizer that works with me, not somebody that creates a design and then I pay them and then all of a sudden it's like I can't find them anywhere and I need the file's not correct, or I need a little change and stuff like that. I want that type of good relationship with them. I will tell you, I felt that way with them, and I felt that way with Sewing Parts Online, because I purchased several items from Sewing Parts Online, for my embroidery machine, because I always have spare parts of screws and all that kind of stuff and everything. So I like to buy that stuff. So that way, if something happens to the machine, I can try to repair it myself, or I have the stuff. But but I will tell you, worth every penny. I mean, I will definitely, those two companies are on my top list. They really are. I loved the customer service that I got from them. I was very, very impressed, especially in today's times where it's like good customer service is sometimes rare. Okay. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I feel. It's like sometimes it's like, what? It's like, I mean, it's like, wee, So, but I will tell you, they were phenomenal. They were phenomenal. Every time I needed, I discovered a part needed to replace, it wasn't fitting or whatever, they took care of it. And as you can see, I'm very, very happy with that table. I know I'm going to be using it for a long time. And I'm hoping that when I pass, it's something that I can give to my niece, because I know my niece is heavy into sewing. So I'm thinking, because I guess as you get older and you retire, you get older, you kind of, that one day it might be a turn, right? So I have been thinking about that a lot lately, and I've been thinking, okay, well, where would I want certain things to go? Not that I'm planning on leaving, okay? I plan on hanging around for a long, long time. But you have to sometimes, you got to prepare, right? So, and me and Fred have always been planners. We have always had our wills and our trusts and everything always in place, because you just never know. You could get hit by a bus or whatever. So I want, when I put my sewing room together, I even told my sister, I said, well, just know, so God forbid something happens to me, all this stuff, my embroidery room and my sewing room, the way it'll go to my sister and my niece, because they're both into sewing and stuff. And I would like them to have it, because it's like I said, I don't want it to just be sold. I wanted to give it to somebody that I know is going to use it and enjoy it. So well, anyway, let's not talk about that. So anyway, I'm happy with the turnout, and I'm hoping to use that room for a long time. So I'm going to go down the list because as I was showing you guys the table and all that kind of stuff and everything, I was able to see some of the comments and answer some of the questions. But, you know, yeah, and I see right here, Cindy Ball. Do you one question? Okay. Do you really spend that much money on repairs to your machines? 5K seems like it would cover many years of repairs with a certified technician. Cindy, I actually spend $1,500 a year on repairs to my machines. And it's not repairs, it's maintenance. Okay. I always service all my machines, Cindy, annually. I have to because I have an embroidery business. These machines have to run top notch. And if I have a repair, that's an additional. So $1,500 is what I spend so far annually just for maintenance. Just for maintenance. Okay. Repair is an additional cost. All right. So yeah, 5,000. The course to learn is not 5,000. Okay. It's really, I think if I remember correctly, I think it was like, I think $3,000 for the class. But the thing is, I'm saving 5,000 because I have to fly over there because the school that I want to go to is in Texas. So I have to consider airline tickets. I have to save for meals. I also have to stay for a hotel room, and I'll probably need a rental car. Or if I drive, which I possibly could do too, I can save money on that. But the thing is I'll be closing up shop, and it's going to take me a while to drive from Northern Virginia to Texas. Then I have to stay at a hotel room, and the meals and all that stuff, it adds up, right? So my thing is, if I have 5,000 saved just for this, that should cover all expenses for the class, the transportation and everything. So that's why. But yeah, maintaining your machines, depending on how many you have. I have 7. Okay. So every year I get 7 machines, go through scheduled maintenance on an annual basis. So that's why I pay so much. Okay. But the thing is, I have an embroidery business. So I have to make sure that my embroidery machines are working because I have orders, especially during the holidays. Okay. It's like, I have, they have to be working. They have to be working. Okay. So, yeah. To me, it's worth it because in the long run, I would be able to fix my machines and not have to worry about, because the person that I used, Justin, he's great. But the thing is, he doesn't live in my state. He lives in another state. So for him to come to see me, it is a little bit of a travel for him. And, he may not be able to get here quickly. Right. And if I have a lot of orders, especially during the holidays or something like that, and I have a machine that's down, I have other machines that can cover it. But the thing is that machine, it slows down my process. So if I know how to fix my own machine, I could just fix it right there on the spot. And then I could keep on rocking and rolling, and stuff. So anyway, but I'm going to go down and answer any other questions you guys may have. Hey, Margie, how are you? How you doing? I see Tina. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? Hey, Bernardino, how you doing? I see Robin. How are you? Hey, McFake, how are you doing? Hey, Cindy, need some water. Let's see. Hi, Sharon. How are you? How you doing? Hey, Iris. How are you? My travels. Well, let me tell you something though. I have, since you guys asked, let me share a couple of things with you guys. I mean, when Nancy and my mom came, they went to this, we all went to the sewing and quilt show. We had a really, really wonderful time. and I got to see, I met up with the crafty Puerto Rican. We had a lot of fun too. Here's a picture of us. We had like such a great time sewing and stuff like that. And here's another group picture of everybody at Olive Garden. We had a great time having dinner there as well. And I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. As you can see, my mom was she was having a great time too. She was, I have to tell you, watching her, I mean, she kind of cracked me up because, my mom doesn't know, here she is again. We were in an embroidery class, guys. We were in an embroidery class. She kind of cracked me up because it was like, my mom knows English, she does, but she was just so excited about being there that when the instructor was giving instructions, she was so busy looking around, smiling. And then when she saw everybody turning on their machines and starting to embroider, she got nervous. She would be like, "Oh my God, what were we supposed to do?" And so me and Jenny had to be like, "You're not listening to the teacher. You got to listen to the teacher." So we had to help her a lot and stuff. But I have to tell you, she really did enjoy that. And it was super cool. It really, really was. And, it was pretty fun. And then what I did was after that, I took her to I had to bring her back home. Nancy flew back on Sunday because she had to go to work on Monday. And then I ended up driving mom back to Miami. But before we went to Miami, we stopped at Orlando to my cousin Lillian's, and she got to see her brother. And this is her and her brother, and he is 96 years old. And that weekend, my mom turned 86. So it was pretty cool because, we actually got to like get her birthday cake and all that kind of stuff. And this is me with my cousin Madeline. And guess what? Now she's addicted to sewing. Okay. Because one of the things that I did while I was there was I treated her to a sewing machine. I went to Walmart and I got her a sewing machine, and I got her into sewing. So now she's all about sewing. Okay. So we got now an extra sewer in the family. So it's like really funny. So she is really, really enjoying it. I got her a brother. I just picked it up at Walmart and stuff, and I was teaching her how to sew on the machine and everything. So it was pretty cool. And one of the things also that I did was I reached out to some other family members, cousins that I stayed in contact with, and we had FaceTime with them. So I would call them up, put them on FaceTime, and I would have the whole family come out, and I would say, "Hey, Betty's talking to me. Say hi." And that was a really big treat, especially for my uncle, who's 96 years old. As you can see, he is smiling from ear to ear, which that to me was so worth it. I mean, I gotta tell you guys, it's like, as our parents get older, you really have to take advantage of those moments. You really, really do. And, when I went to Orlando and I saw my uncle, and, it's like his face just lit up, when he saw my mom and stuff like that. His face lit up, and it was just like so awesome, and it was so worth it. And yeah, I mean, it was really cool. And then I got to it's a little sad, but one of the things that my mom wanted to do was she wanted to visit my dad. So I took her to the cemetery, and we we put new flowers on my dad's grave. So, she was, happy about that, and stuff. And, it gets a little emotional when we go visit my dad because it's kind of hard, He passed away. It's been like 2 years now. And it's kind of funny. We miss him a lot. We really, really do, especially my mom, because she's she's in this house, and his presence isn't there anymore. And every time I visit her, I walk around the house and I see his chair and all that kind of stuff. So it can get kind of hard, But we're making the best of it. We're making, the most of all the moments and stuff. And I really was grateful that I was able to drive from here to Orlando, just so that, and spend 2 days at Lillian, so that way my mom could really spend quality time with her brother. And then driving back, one of the things I did was I usually stop at Georgia, because that's like the midpoint between my mom's and where I live. But my mom was like, I don't know, she has these leaves. I don't know what it is that I guess they put in tea, and my mom grows them. So she picked up all these leaves and then she gave them to me. She goes, you got to stop at Lillian's and give her these leaves. So when I stopped at Lillian's, it was like, you have to spend the night here because, we don't want you out on the road all those hours. But the thing is, Lillian's house is not really the midpoint. It's only like 4.5 hours from my mom's, and I'm got tired at 4.5. But anyway, I ended up going to Lillian's, spending the night and everything. And then I had to drive from Orlando all the way to Northern Virginia. So when I got here, I was exhausted yesterday. I was like, oh my God. I was like, ugh. And I didn't drive my car, which I kind of wish I did. I didn't drive the Tesla. I drove my dad's Passat, and, there's some issues going on with the Passat. So I was really kind of taking a chance, and, but I didn't get stuck or anything. It's just, I think there's just something that's loose in the car. Dashboard just lit up like a Christmas tree. So I was just like, great, but it's fine. It's just fine. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell. Cindy, that was my trip. Okay. So, yeah. So, all right. So that's my trip, Cindy, in a nutshell. Okay. Hey, Jenny, how are you? How you doing? Let's see. Hey, Jackie, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Sharon, how are you? Hi, Pearl, how you doing? And Cindy says, I am behind binding another quilt. My Gil's show is next weekend, so I'm going to have to lurk tonight as my hands will be busy. You can do it. You can do it. Just focus. Just stay focused, Cindy. You can do it. You can meet that deadline. All right. Hey, Vicky, how are you? How you doing? I am back, and I am so glad to be back. I really am. And I've got to really work. So I think this weekend, I'm just going to focus on, I have to do some towels for my cousin Lillian's practice. Her husband's a medical doctor. So they're celebrating 35 years of being in business. So got to help my family out. So, she got some towels that she wants to give out as gifts to some of her staff. So I'm going to be embroidering that for her. I need to have it done this weekend so I can mail it to her by Monday so she could have it by the end of that week, hopefully. And then I have a friend that had passed away 2 years ago, and he's finally going to, I think they're burying his ashes in Arlington National Cemetery. So I'm doing some handkerchiefs in his honor. He was a retired lieutenant colonel. So I'm going to do some handkerchiefs in his honor for the ceremony. So I'm going to be busy this weekend on those 2 orders and stuff. And yeah, and I'll videotape while I'm doing those handkerchiefs so that you guys can see how to do it for military and all that kind of stuff in case you guys have to do something like that. But I'll videotape that. Hey GBL, how are you? How you doing? Hey Eleanor, how you doing? Hey Miss Miller, how are you? Um, hey Angela and Stitches. Hey Bob, how you doing? Iris said it's hard to believe that the stores are already putting up Christmas trees and decorations. I know. Yes, and even people around here. It's like they're already putting it up. And what happened to Thanksgiving? I know. I don't know what's it's like I feel like people skipped Thanksgiving. That's how I feel. I feel like people skipped Thanksgiving and stuff. Hey Miss Shirley, how are you? How you doing? Um, hey Sandy. There videos we can watch to get an idea of what sorts of things are gifted? I don't remember seeing one. I haven't participated before. Okay, if you look on my channel, Sandy, and you look, I would say do a search on show and tell, and in there you could see some of the things that people have actually gifted other people. Okay, there are like so many different things. I mean, you can be as creative as you like, and you can do whatever you want. I mean, people have gifted pot holders. They've done embroidered kitchen towels. Some have made bags, makeup bags, little pouches. Some have made little shirts and stuff like that. Some people have done tumblers and everything. Just little stuff like this. I mean, the whole focus, Sandy, is really just for you to have fun and just create something that you want to gift someone. This is another one. This is a gift that I got from NG Designs. They do notebooks and stuff. This was just a cover, and I use it. It's like, you put little notebooks in it. This was their little cover, and she made that. And I use this for my note keeping and stuff. There's a lot of things you can make. This is another gift that I received. You can make little mug rugs if you're into mug rugs. You can do that for the gift exchange. I mean, and just be creative. That's all it is. You can, it's whatever you want to make for someone. That's that's what it's all about. It's just about having fun and stuff. Hey Nana, how you doing? Hey Sandy, how are you? How you doing? Let's see. I'm going down. Hey Debbie, how are you? Let's see. You have the most organized craft rooms. I want to make videos, but it's always a total disaster in here. Well, Bob, I will tell you. I mean, I am a neat freak. I really am. I mean, it does annoy people too, because my girlfriend Melinda, I can't craft with her because she like when we were doing Cricut together, she was doing, she would peel her vinyl and she would just like just throw it everywhere, right? And when she would throw it, I would be picking it up and putting it in the garbage, and she would be like, just leave it there, just leave it there. And I would be like, oh no, we can't. So I'm, I will, I don't know. I don't think I'm as a normal sewer or embroiderer or crafter, because I like it always neat. And this is the reason why. I usually sometimes have customers that kind of sometimes, they don't like just show up, but they'll reach out and they say, hey, can I stop by in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, right? And one of the things that they do is sometimes it's because they want to get an opinion about an embroidery project or look at some threads or something like that. And they do come into this space. And I like the space to always be neat because it's a representation of my business. And I am very, very particular about that. So I do clean my space every evening before I go to bed. I vacuum it and all that kind of stuff. I don't like having threads on the floor or anything like that. As I am embroidering and I use things, I do put them back where they're supposed to be. I like my areas to be nice and clean. And I always I never put my customers' items on the floor or anything. I just don't do that. Because to me, that's important. That's important. You want to respect your customers' items, because they can get dirty on the floor. Sometimes Mello can walk in, sometimes his dog, his paws can be dirty or something like that. So, I don't, I am pretty particular. So yeah, I like things to be organized in certain places where I can easily find things. And I think I did a video a while ago about, when you have your room, and you set up your room, think about your process of how you do things, how you work, because you want to be able to, if you need scissors, you want them to be in reachable, right? You don't want to be going all over the room looking for the stuff, because it wastes time. Okay. Because every time you can't find something, the clock's ticking. So you're wasting time. Time's money. And at the same time, it's less stressful too. I like, I enjoy what I do. I really do. And I like it to be peaceful and enjoyable. So I don't want the stress, right? Because, I like to be calm, and I don't like to be rushed or anything like that, which is another reason why I learned early on, schedule my jobs. So that way I can work on them at peace. I don't like rush jobs. If I get a rush job and it has to be a rush job and I'm going to be stressing about it, believe me, the customer is going to be paying for that. So there's a rush job fee for that. I don't just take it and say, okay, no, it doesn't work that way. So I like to work in a certain way, and I'm very strict about that. And I'm very strict about how my rooms are organized. So that's why I wanted my sewing room to be exactly the same way, where I know exactly where everything is. And whenever I'm working on a project and I need something, it's reachable, and it's a process. So like when you saw the table, it's ironing, cutting, sew. I can do that. And if I need a bigger cutting table, I have one behind me where I can just pull it out, open it up, and I can, it's a good flow. So that's important to me and stuff. But yeah, but it is organized, I will say. But it makes me feel good to be organized, and I don't like clutter either. So I try to minimize the clutter, because I wanted everything to be nice and simple and stuff, because that can kind of mess with your mood too. That's how I feel. It's like if I have a big mess and stuff like that, your anxiety could kick in, and then all of a sudden you're like in a bad mood and you just feel disorganized. It's like that, I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. I want to feel content. I want to be calm and relaxed, and I want to enjoy it. I actually want to enjoy what I do. So that's why it's important to me to have everything nicely organized and everything. So that way I can really enjoy it, because not only am I making money, but I'm doing something that I love, and I want to keep that going and stuff. So yeah, so it is a little organized, very organized. So Rita says small, but it's always a disaster. Oh my goodness. Hi, Joanna. How are you? How you doing? I had just finished 7 hours of embroidery. It's a mess, and I don't feel like moving anymore. I just want to relax. But see, if you clean while you're embroidering, that's what I tell my friend. If you clean while you're embroidering, there's less of a mess, and stuff. So, it's kind of like when I'm changing threads. When I'm changing threads, as my items are embroidering, I take the threads that I took out of the machine, I kind of reap them and I put them back. That way everything's organized. If not, I would have like a whole bunch of threads on my table, right? So that's how that's how that's how I work. So I'm wanting a toll stored cabbage like that. Yeah, I got it off of Amazon. and stuff. And as a matter of fact, when I'm done with this live, I will put links to the stuff that I bought for that room, and I'll put it in the video description of this video. It's not there yet, but I will put all the links there for you guys. But it, to me, that tall cabinet, I mean, very easy to put together, stackable and stuff like that. And it, I really liked the way, it looked. I mean, it was really nice. Shoot, I have to go watch the play. Oh, bye, Sandy. Hey, Peggy, how are you? Big face. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Joyce, how are you? Hey, Baby Giant Services, how you doing? Angela says, love the sewing cabinet and the preplex insert. I have a Coda cabinet, had it for years. I have not heard of that brand, Coda, but I think that's a sewing cabinet and stuff. But I gotta tell you, Angela, I am loving that insert and that table. I really do. Robin, love that table. Thank you. Ooh. Bernatina. Jenny, that's like, thank you. Hey, SK, how you doing? I like that ironing set. I like it too. That's really one of the reasons why I bought that particular model, because I really liked that it had the ironing and the cutting right next to each other. So it makes things easier, and stuff. What is the name of the pink cutting board? Looks like it may be revolving one. It is. And I do have a video because I had bought the green and the pink, and I did a comparison of those, Linda, but I will put the link to that on the video description of this video when I'm done with the live and stuff. So as a matter of fact, I'll make sure, let me write down some of the items that you guys have questions about, the link. So, okay, the pink rotating board, I put that down. I know you guys were asking about the stackable cubes. So that way you guys could see which ones I purchased. And, Nancy had gotten those off of Tebow, and I got them off of Tebow too, but I did notice a difference in the quality. So sometimes it's kind of like, you kind of like get what you pay for, but, and then I'll even put the link to the table that I got from Amazon. But like I said, I mean, the quality is not as great as the one from Arrow Sewing, but it's okay. It's not bad. It doesn't look like it's going to fall apart or anything like that. It fit the bill to me, and stuff. Wow, especially with the knee lift under the table. Yeah, I love having, because it's really funny, because when I first started to sew, Bob, I didn't care for that knee lift, because I remember looking at it, I was like, what is that? If you look at my very first video where I did the unboxing of the SC1900, I actually picked that thing up and said, I don't even know what this is, because I just started to sew. I didn't even know all this stuff, right? Now that I started using the knee lift, I love it. I mean, I can't see myself sewing without it, because that knee lift frees your hands. You can use both hands to hold your fabric or whatever. And with the knee lift, you just lift up and down the foot. So it's like, I mean, now I love it. I just love it. And I use it on my SC1900, and I use it on my Juki all the time. Great setup for sewing. Thanks. Such a safe favorite. But keep in mind the triangle method of, and it keeps in mind the triangle method of production. Yeah, you're right. It does. It Yeah, because it's like a triangle. Yeah, you're right. And I kind of like that because it's like it's everything is so close next to each other. So I totally agree. I really do like that. Let's see. Okay, Bernadette, you asked about the cords. Do you have a way to keep them out of the way? Yep. And as you can see, the cords are right behind the table. It doesn't get in the way of anything. It really doesn't. Even when I'm pulling the table on the wheels and no issues and stuff. So I really like the way that table was built. It had all of that in mind. So it all worked out really, really nice. Hey Cindy, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Let's see. Hey Debbie, that's like the Cadillac sewing tables. Congratulations. It is, Debbie. I will tell you. I mean, I did not think I was going to spend that much on a sewing table. I really did. But when I saw it, and then what really got me was when not just the custom insert, but I really love that you got to push the sewing machine all the way down and close it up, because you saw in the beginning I had it down and it was closed and stuff, and it looked like a regular table. But I really loved that there was a leaf behind the table that opened up, so that if you're sewing and you have like a big blanket or something, it's not falling off your table. So that I was kind of like, I really, really, really liked that. And I was like, because think about it, how many times you're sewing and you have stuff all over. I wanted a nice clean space to sew my items, and that really fit the bill for me. So as it's pricey, I got it, I know, but I said I'll bite the bullet, and I'll treat myself. So, that's what I did. And I figured I'm retired now, and that's what I'm going to be doing with my free time. I'm going to enjoy my sewing room. I'm going to enjoy sewing and doing stuff and everything. It's going to be my space. It's my hobby. And, I figured why not? It's for me, and stuff. So, yeah. Awesome. So, oh, thank you, Pearl. I appreciate that. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. I kind of like it too. Hey, Shet. Oh, so thinks. Oh, thank you. It's a kangaroo, not a bunny. Oh, yeah, that's right. Did I say bunny, Cindy? I think I did. I said bunny. You're right. It's a kangaroo. Yes. I too have an arrow very similar to yours. I have particular nods. Oh, okay. Oh, I would love to see a picture of yours, Cindy. Oh my God, I should post it on Facebook, because I bet you looks gorgeous. That's such a smart use of the space. Oh, thank you. You really maximize every inch. I tried to. I really did, because I had to think. Because this was my thought process, right? In the beginning, I had a bed in there, right? And it was like, that really was Carlito's room. Well, this was actually Carlito's room. Then I took it, he moved over there. Then I took that space, right? But then he kind of really likes the basement, because that he feels like he has like a little mini apartment down there. So I still had a bed in there. But the thing is, I really don't get that much guests. I only get like 2 visitors a year, if that, right? Because my cousin Betty comes for New Year's every year. And that's really when we celebrate Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So the whole rest of the time, I have a bed in there, and I'm like, I wanted to use that space for me. But at the same time, I needed space for when people visit. So that Murphy bed fit the bill. So I really love that the space is built where I can put everything away and open up that Murphy bed, and my cousin or whoever's visiting me can be comfortable. So it works out great, so very, very happy with the space. I thought about it, printed out and everything. So came out really, really, really nice and stuff. Hey, Liliana, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, so I love my space. I think my space came out really nice. Happy with it. The wheels can be put in a lock position. Yes, it can. I have to say I have not been doing that because I haven't really needed to put it in a lock position. But yeah, you can put it in a lock position so that way it's not sliding all over the place. Good evening from bedside. Hey, Miss Parker, how are you? Let's see, Beth. Love your sewing room so much. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Beth. Hey, Renee. Oh, thank you. Mine is about 7 years old. Still looks brand new. I sew almost every day. Lots of use. That's what I plan on doing with mine. That's what I plan on doing with mine. Oh my God. I'm really happy with it. I really, truly am. Your hubby should put some casters on it and raise it. I thought about, well, I'm just gonna leave it, Bernardino, because the height really doesn't bother me that much. It would have been great if it was higher, but that's okay. It's fine. I mean, I can live with it. It's okay. It's no big deal. Hey, Deborah, how you doing? I bet your mom loved your sewing. She did. She really did. She liked it and stuff. Her and Nancy were pretty impressed. When I opened up that table and they saw that the leaf goes up for it to quilt, Nancy was kind of like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, I know. That's like, my mom was pretty impressed with it too. So she, they really liked it. They liked the room and stuff like that, I think maybe as time goes on and I start using the space a little bit more, maybe I make minor adjustments here and there and stuff, but overall I'm very, very happy with the outcome of it. And it seems to work out really well and stuff. Hey, crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Hey, Evelyn, how are you? How you doing? Let's see. You can put a small quilt on the wall. I was thinking of doing that, Beth. I was actually thinking of doing that. I was thinking maybe I could make a quilt and put that there. I did think that. I was thinking about that because now it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I have that space, but I don't know. We'll see. I was even thinking maybe I could put a pegboard there so that I can hang scissors and stuff like that. I was thinking about that too, like I have here. So I don't know. I still want to look at it and see how I might use it. Because sometimes, I like that rocking chair in there. I will tell you, because I like to sit in the rocking chair and I do look at that space and I try to imagine how I could do it. Should I put a pegboard or should I put, like you said, a mini quilt? Put a small quilt on the wall for decorative and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to, see how I'm going to decorate that wall and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll come, it's a great space. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thanks, Allison. Love your room organization. Really love the Laverne and Shirley Arrow sewing table. Oh, thanks, Shirley. Came out beautiful. Very well organized. Thank you, Jenny. I'm going to make me a large quilt project board like you. I've seen on other channels, but never thought about making one and have it to be portable. Great idea. Yeah, I do like that idea, Shirley, about, just have the board and then you can put it somewhere where when you need it, then you take it out and you look at it, I've seen some people, what they do is they actually put it on a wall, like they'll take batting and they'll just nail it into the wall or something like that. But the thing is, then you used up that wall. And I'm going to be on, I'm only 4'11". I'm a short lady. I'm not that tall. So, I can't like reach all the way on the top to be putting fabric on and stuff like that. I like the idea of the flexibility, right? So it's big enough where I can put it against the wall. I could even leave it on the floor if I want to. I can, there's just, I can do whatever I want. So I don't want it in a permanent spot. So, that's, that it works for me and stuff. Bob said you could probably remove the handles from the Murphy bed to make the front into a large quilt wall, or just screw in buttons handles at the bottom. I don't want to do that because I just don't want the make the front into a large quilt wall. I don't want to, I don't want a permanent one. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like the way that, and the handles, I need the handles because the handles help me pull the bed out. They do have some handles on the side, but I kind of like those handles in the front because it makes it a lot easier for me to pull down the bed. So I'm not going to really change any of that. I like the way it is. I like it because I get to put it away. And then when I need the design wall, I can just take it out, and stuff, because I don't use it all the time, and stuff. So, I don't want a permanent slot. Yeah, and Peggy's saying to add the thing. Yeah, I'm fine with the height. I'm fine with it. Or even put it on the closet wall. Great spot to put a yeah, I could do that on the sliding doors. Yep, that's another option. That is another option. Yeah, if I'm looking for a permanent spot, I could do that because these closets they just slide and stuff, but for now, that solution will work, Hey, Eartha, thanks. Did a good job. Oh, thanks. Trump's cheap any day. Yeah. Yeah, I want to save my back. I will tell you. It's really funny because you don't think about those things until you start feeling the pain. Honestly, you don't think about the importance of your posture when you're sewing and all that kind of stuff. Because like I said, a lot of times people just take any table and they just put this machine on it and then they work right from there. But you don't realize you're probably slouching and stuff like that. Before you know it, the back hurts and all that. And I will tell you, I've been sewing on that table now, and I don't feel pain or stuff. I feel much more comfortable. So worth it. So worth it. Hey, Emma, how are you? Love your new sewing space. Arrow tables are well made and wear well. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're pricey though. I will tell you, they're pricey. Those tables are not cheap. They were actually at the Sew and Quilt Expo, and I told the lady, you guys make some awesome quality stuff. And they had a table there for sergers. Expensive though. If I remember correctly, it was like $1,200 just for a serger table, and I was like, oh my god. But I gotta tell you, it was good quality. Now my serger is sitting on the adjustable table, so I think I'll be okay there. But I will tell you though, the very, very good quality tables and stuff. And I'm really super impressed with their customer service, because like I explained before, I had, some complications there, because it came in 5 separate boxes. Okay. Because it was just like, whoa, a lot of pieces. And it can get overwhelming when you open up all those boxes, you start organizing the pieces, and I saw the screws and all that. I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Why didn't I just buy a simple table? Believe me, all that stuff went through my head. And I was just like, oh God. I was like, great, and I was just like, I'm gonna have to do this on my own. Fred would help me, but I didn't want him to feel obligated and stuff, because And I know he would have stepped in and helped. I know. But I wanted to do it by myself. But I did. I was able to do it. What I did was I just sat there. I took the instructions. I watched their videos on how to put the table together step by step, went through their instructions. I just took my time. And when I saw that I started having complications, I just picked up the phone. I called them up. So nice. They were so nice. And I'm telling you, I would go anywhere else because their customer service was so awesome. I got to tell you guys, you won't go wrong with it. And I have to me, because that alone is worth so much, when it comes to support of a product. I mean, you barely get that. So when you find a company that's really good at what they do and they take care of their customers, it's like, for me, they got me for life. The only way they won't have me anymore is when all of a sudden I see that their customer service went. But I will tell you, they were awesome. They even called me after everything was done to make sure that I was okay with everything. And I was impressed by that. And I was just like, wow, that's good. That they went over and beyond. I mean, I was like very, very, very impressed. I really was. I was like, that's like so cool. Could you get a top for it and have small feet where you can use the space and the side cutting mats and other flat items in it? Could you get a top for it and put to have small feet? You could use the space to the side cutting mats and other flat. I don't know what you mean, Cindy. I don't know what you mean by that. If I could get a top for it and have small feet, you could use the space to slide cutting mats and other flat items in it. I don't know what you mean by that, Cindy. I don't know if you could re-ask the question. As you get older, the correct position height of the machine gets more and more important. Yeah, Cindy, I agree. I agree. Okay, but it probably saves thousands in the long run on doctor and chiropractic visits by getting quality. Totally agree. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That's what I thought. I was like, as we get older, you really have to start taking care of yourself because your body changes. Your metabolism slows down and all that kind of stuff. Stuff starts hurting in places you like, this didn't hurt before, So it's like everything starts to break down, right? So, because you're getting up there, right? Bones are not as strong as they used to be and all that kind of stuff. So yes, totally agree. You gotta take care of yourself. And I just looked at it as, I'm just biting the bullet and I'm just going to get something that's comfortable because it's something that I really want to do. And I want to enjoy it. And I don't want to go to bed in pain. You know what I'm saying? So I have to tell you that table is really working. It's been worth it. It really has. Nice haircut. Oh, thank you. Yes, I did cut my hair. I cut it and I actually had my hair processed. I did the Japanese hair straightening on my hair because my hair is pretty curly, but now it's processed. So now it's straight. As the ingrown comes in, you'll start seeing the curl on the ingrown, but this is permanently straightened. So I wanted to do it because I'm always straightening my hair with a hot iron. It takes a long time to do it, and now it's permanent. So love it. And I did cut it. I cut it short. It'll grow. My hair grows back fast and stuff, but I wanted to do a little short and stuff. So, but Thank you, Emma. I kind of like it too. At first, I wasn't used to it because when she first cut it, and then I looked in the mirror, I was like, "What did I do to myself?" But as time goes on, you get kind of used to it. You're like, "Okay, I could live with this. I'm gonna live with it." Um, yeah, I think I already answered your question, Cindy, about that. Yeah, the answer is kind of like, yeah, it is worth it. Especially in my case. In my case, it's worth it because I have so many machines that get serviced. I have right now 7 that get serviced every year, and I'm planning on getting another machine soon. So now I'm going to have 8. So that means that my cost of maintaining machines on an annual basis will probably going to go higher and stuff. Love sewing parts online. They sell some pretty good fabric. I didn't even know they had fabric. I'm gonna have to look, Angela. I didn't even know they had that. So now I'm gonna go look. Hey Joyce, great job setting up your sewing room. I love what you have done. Oh, thank you. Thanks. It took a while. It took a while, but I was able to really. I need to get a Murphy bed for my sewing room. My daughter and her family are coming for Thanksgiving. I gotta tell you, they are the best. They really are. They're the best thing. What I did, there's if you were to search Murphy beds, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can buy some that are out the box. I think like Lowe's and Home Depot kind of have them. But when I looked at them, their reviews weren't that great. It's like some people said it was the most fantastic thing. Then other people wrote that it was like a piece of junk, whatever. So what I did was I just called Closet America, and I had them come, and because they did our master bedroom, they did our pantry. They did a fabulous job on it. It's a little costly, but they did a very, very good job. Me and my husband were very, very happy, and we're glad we splurged on that. So I saw that they did Murphy beds also. So I called them out, and they did it, and they designed it for me and stuff, and they actually measured the space and everything. And what I really like is that it's custom. And you could do twin, full, queen, king, whatever you want. To me, a twin size bed was really all I needed because I usually just have one person visit me at a time. I also have a futon downstairs in the basement. So if I have to, I can open that up. But I was like, twins good enough. And they came, they measured, they designed it. I got to pick the color of the wood, the handles, everything. And all I had to do was buy the mattress. And they came and they did the install, and they did a really good job. And so I kind of liked it. I mean, it cost a little more, but it was better. And I found the process is really easier. And I guess it's because we're also getting at an age where I really don't want to be putting together all these furniture. So that's why when I got the sewing table, I was kind of like, I saw all those boxes. I was like, oh shit, what did I do? But you can't get sewing tables that show up at your house already put together. You really can't. So I had to like suck that up, and just say, okay, fine, let me put it together, But Murphy beds that's actually an idea that I got from you guys, because I was talking about this, and somebody came out and said, get a Murphy bed. And I was like, what is that? And I looked it up, and I was kind of like, oh. And I found out Murphy beds are very popular in studio apartments in New York City. A lot of people that have studio apartments, like condos and stuff like that, they get Murphy beds because when they have, it's a studio apartment, it's just one room. Sorry. It's just one room. So when they have guests over, fold up the bed and you have you can entertain. So I was just like, oh. So it was a great idea. I just loved it. Loved the idea. Congrats. What Juki do you have? Is there one that's straight stitch? Okay. Ooh, let me get some water. Hey Rita. The machine that I have is the Juki TL 2010Q. And I'll put the link to that one It is a straight stitch machine only. It's not with decorative stitches or anything like that. It's a straight stitch. I kind of like it. It's like a semi-commercial machine. I didn't want to get one of those big commercial machines that come with the table and all that stuff. I mean, even though it's nice, but I didn't think I need all of that. I just wanted a straight stitch so that I could do quilting and all that stuff. If I need some kind of decorative stitches or something like that, I got my SC1900. That machine's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to keep my machine. So I have two sewing machines. So I have the SC1900, which is a sewing / embroidery machine, plus I got my Juki. So I like them both. 7 machines. Yeah, 7 machines. And Cindy, if I get another machine, my husband Fred is going to kill me. Kill me. He's going to be like, what? Because Jenny will tell you, Crafty Puerto Rican will tell you, I was looking at those machines, okay? I was looking at them and I was like, oh, I would like to get a Luminaire, or what is it? Is that the Luminaire? I think it is the Luminaire. Or is it? Or the Stellaire. I think it's the Stellaire we were looking at. Sorry, not the Luminaire. They're not making the Luminaire anymore. The Stellaire. I was looking at that. But those machines look so huge, okay? Those are the embroidery / sewing machines. They look so huge. And I'm like, nope, not going to do it, because I could see Fred and he's going to say no. He's going to be like, Jeanette. They're going machine crazy now. So I'm going to stick with what I have. I think I'm okay. I will be getting another machine, but it'll be another multi-needle machine because I need it for the business. Because the more machines you have, the faster you can process your orders. And when I get bulk orders, my machines are handling it, but I know that I could get them done a lot faster if I get another one. So I am looking to see if I can get my hands on another 1055X. I'm really not interested in the new Brother machine, because when I went to go see it at the Sewing Quilt Show and I talked to them about it, there's really no difference. It's the same thing. So I'm hoping that, I'm still looking, that I could find a shop that has a 1055, that maybe they'll want to get rid of it at a lower price or whatever. I don't mind buying a demo or anything like that, because I know the machine. It doesn't have to be new. So that's what I'm looking for now. If I can find one, great. If not, I'm going to hold off a little bit, because I don't know how to do it and stuff. I don't know. Do you have to oil your larger? Yes, Beth. You even have to oil your small serger machine, okay? You do have to oil your serger machines, all right? Any moving parts that you have in that, you need to oil it and stuff. And Mello, they're asking about you. I hear him too. It's like he's walking around. Mello, you gonna come say hi? Mello. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here we go. Come here so you can say hi. He went to the beauty part. Where you going? Where you go? You going here? Okay, this is your spot? Okay. He went to the groomers this Saturday. Look at how handsome you look. You look so handsome. You want to show them your little tie? Your little tie? Your little thing? Come here. Why don't you sit? Sit here. Sit. Look at that tie. He's got his little, oh, they can't see you, Papa. Oh, you're tired. Oh, my goodness. Mello's tired because he's working. He's been working, right? Mr. Supervisor. Yeah. So he's got his little, I don't know what it is. I think he's got his little fall. When you go to the groomers, they always get their little bow thing on and stuff. So they were asking about you, Mello. Mello. You're doing good. I miss him so much when I went. Oh my God. It was like all I kept thinking about was the dog. And my cousin Lillian told me, oh, next time you come, bring him. And I kind of told her, I said, he's a big dog. He's 85 pounds. He's not a little, because I want to make sure she knew. I'm like, we're not talking about a pocketbook dog here, okay? This ain't a dog that I can just throw in a pocketbook. You don't hardly see it, okay? This is It's a big boy. But she said it's okay. I'm like, so I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Next time, maybe I'll bring him with me. I don't know. But I missed him so much. Oh my God. When I came home, I just kept hugging him. Because that's my boo. Love that dog. Love it. Yes, where's Mello? Oh my God. When ironing on, cover a stitch, tender touch over poly mesh okay, underside on top. Does the poly mesh shrink? Is it best to iron over polymer both sides? Okay, let's go over that question. Okay, when ironing on the cover a stitch or tender touch over poly mesh stabilizer, okay, on the underside of a top, does the poly mesh shrink? I don't believe it does. Is it best to iron over on the poly mesh or just the sides of the unembroidered part? Okay, the way that I do it, Beth, is what I do is when it comes to the poly mesh, I peel off the poly mesh and I cut the poly mesh that's not embroidered on. So I try to, just clean it up a little bit. Then I take my tender touch and I put it on top of the back of the embroidery and the poly mesh. And then what I do is I use a heat press and then I just press it on there. That's how I do it. I don't notice any shrinkage that occurs and stuff, but I don't use an actual iron when I apply my even the poly mesh. When I put poly mesh, I usually use a heat press also, and my tender touch, I use a heat press as well. And so I don't notice any shrinking on my end and stuff. I don't know if anyone else has been experiencing that and stuff. Hey Kim, how are you? Oh, thanks. Hey Liliana, love how the room is turning out. Oh, thanks. We're working hard on it. That was so nice of you to take her. My husband passed October 2023. Oh, your husband passed the same year my dad died. My dad died in June of 2023. I made myself a memory bearer from his favorite shirts. Eartha, I have my dad's shirts, and I have been I've been wanting to do that, to make like a like a memory pillow or a memory bear, something out of my dad's shirts as well. But I can't come to cutting the shirts as of yet, because every time I say I'm going to do it and I take his shirts and I go to take the scissor to it, it just bothers me. And I just put the scissor down and I fold his shirt back up and I put it away. So I'm just not, and it's been 2 years, but I'm still not emotionally ready to do it. I think it's easy to do that when you're not, when the shirt doesn't, but I don't know. For me, I mean, maybe I would have been able to do it if the shirt belonged to someone else, but it's my dad's shirt. So it's like, I don't know. I just still have a hard time cutting the shirt. And the other thing kind of concerns me too is, what if I screw up? Because it's not the situation like I could just go get more fabric, right? This is my dad's shirt, So, I don't know. I haven't been able to do that yet, but that is something that I want to do. I saw that some people take the dress shirts and they make like a pillow out of it, and they embroider inside the back of the shirt the name. So I want to do something similar to that, but I just haven't gotten to it. I haven't been able to do it yet. Again, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband passing away. It's hard. It really is hard, when loved ones pass away. And one of the things that I was telling Fred, me and Fred were talking, is, we retired this year. And the first time that I've ever lost someone that was really close to me, and it wasn't even a person, it was my first dog, which was Gage. He was a boxer. And it was, I've never had anybody that was close to me that passed away. I mean, I knew people that died, but it wasn't like we were like super close or whatever. So when my dog died, even though it's an animal, we treat animals like if they're your family, right? So that was like my first dog. So when he died, that was devastating to me, you know? And then the next thing was then my dad. And I was just like, ooh. And then I had started having friends that I was actually close to pass away. My friend Catherine died of cancer. And then, then my dad died. And then that 2023 was really bad because it was like Catherine died in February. A friend of ours, Mike, he died in July. My dad died in June. And then Monica, my cousin Monica died in October. And then my other cousin Gladys died January 1st, bringing in 2024. And I was just like, what the hell? It's like everybody's dropping, So that was a tough year. 2024, thankfully, it was just Gladys that died in the beginning of the year. Everybody survived, 2025, here we are. Nothing yet. Okay. And then my friend Mike died in 2023 as well. I forgot about that. That's the one who's going to be buried at Arlington Cemetery this month. So yeah, it was 2023 was a bad year. It was just like, oh my God. So it's kind of hard, it really is hard. And it makes you think about life too. It really does, which is why I'm kind of like, okay, I'm glad that I was able to take the opportunity to retire early so that way I could just take care of me. And then I'm just going to enjoy whatever time I have. I'm just going to enjoy it and stuff. Yeah. Hey, Lucy Lou, how are you? Jeanette, your use of sewing is very nice, especially the Murphy bed. What size room? And is that a queen size Murphy bed? No, it's not a queen size Murphy bed. It's actually a twin size. That's what I got on the Murphy bed. The room, it's like 240 square feet. That's what they are. My rooms are not that big. My sister said that when she watches me, it looks like the room is a little bit bigger, but it's not. My rooms are not that big, which is why it's so important for me to make sure everything's organized. But my Murphy bed in there is actually a twin. It's a twin size. That's what I chose. Let me see. But being too clean also gives the perception that you're not busy. Not true. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like dirty shops. Messy, dirty shops. Mm-mm. But I don't agree with that. Let me see. Started the video since I didn't see the storage cabinets from the amazing storefront. Okay. Love your multi sewing with size room. Oh, okay. I think I already told you. Okay. Just started my Etsy shop. Oh, congrats. And my YouTube channel a month ago. So far, no views on either one. Am I doing something wrong? No. I mean, t-shirts, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. Don't, if you think, let me put it to you this way. You don't get success in one day or right away. You got to keep at it and at it and at it and at it. Okay. As for your Etsy shop, it's eventually going to get there. Just keep putting products on there, keep putting more listings on there. Make sure that your descriptions are okay, that you're titling correctly and all that kind of stuff. You'll get there, but you also got to make sure that the products that you're selling is stuff that people want and everything. Okay. And as for your YouTube channel, you just keep putting your content out there. People will eventually discover you and they're eventually going to want to watch you and stuff like that. So, you just can't give up. You just can't give up. Okay. And nothing's going to happen really quick overnight and stuff. So, Hey, Jeanette, love watching you. Did I hear you say that you were located in Maryland? No, I'm actually located in Virginia, in Northern Virginia. That's where I'm located. Let's see. So glad you said that. I have to keep telling my hubby, put it back where it belongs now. You have to. Okay, let's see. Iris, you didn't even know what a seam ripper was for. Yes, you're right. I didn't because I didn't know it was a seam ripper. I looked at it, I was like, what is this? Yeah, I remember that. Yep. I had a project with 35 color changes in the hoop. Been there for days because I'm missing one color. Had to order and I'm waiting. See, hey Jeanette, missed you last week. Oh, thanks, pretty eyes. You should paint your room. You should paint your room yellow or another bright color. Just matches your personality. Yeah, I thought about that, but I was like, I don't want to spend money on paint, Veronica. I was just like, you know what? I already spent enough money on those furniture and everything like that. I'm gonna leave it. What I probably plan on doing is whatever decorations I put on the wall, I'll make sure those are bright colors. That's what I'll do. I'll just do that. Awesome table. Thank you. Nice room. Could you mount the board on the bed? A lot of you guys are saying to do that and stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I kind of like it freestanding. Because I feel like, the being able to move it around works for me. Digital photo would be nice. You can load photos of family and friends and rotate them as you watch them all day. Love mine. I have one in my sewing room. My mom has one of those Angela stitches and she loves it. She loves it. What sewing machine is that? Oh, I think I answered that, Rita. It's the I have the Juki TL 2010Q. And Angela says she has the 87. I think that's the model in another room. Can't see it. It only stitches straight and also reverse. Let's see this. Right now, my ankles and lower back are giving me problems. See? You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, guys. It's often a good investment. Bought $300 keyboard, and I never want to go back. Yeah, sometimes you got to. Sometimes you gotta. Health is so important, especially your physical health. Too much sitting at a desk at work, got standing. Hopefully it helps. A lot of people are doing that in their offices. They're asking for standing desks because it is bad for you to sit all day. Let's see. Love what you've done. Thank you so much for some. Oh, thank you, Nettie. Even height of a cabinet, send it to you. Oh, okay. You could put metal Jeanette's sewing room in your next. I actually have that in this sewing room. See that one right there? That was actually a gift from one of the subscribers. They sent me that, and that was like so cool. And I was actually thinking about taking it from here over there, but I drilled holes on that wall, and now I don't want to take it down because I don't want to then expose the holes. And so that's the bad thing about that. About putting stuff up on walls and stuff. Trying to convince my husband to get rid of the queen bed in our guest room and place a Murphy bed instead. That way we can use that room for an office space. Yep. A lot of people are doing that. I'm telling you, when that person told me about the Murphy bed, I was like, God, that is such a great idea. I mean, I love it, especially if you want a room to have a multiple purpose, be a multi-purpose room. I mean, it works really, really well. It really does. I got the Stella 2 at that's right. Oh, that's right. Yep. Crafty Puerto Rico got her machine. Jeanette, does Fred come second to Mel? I love them both the same. Iris, you gonna get me in trouble. I love them both the same. I miss them both. I did. I really did. I gotta admit, I love, well, no, because Fred has a beer, so I always play with his beer. But then, I love Mellow's fur, so I love them both the same. I really miss them. There's no place like home, I tell you. Let's see. Thanks for your help with ironing on the polish and Italian touch. Oh, you're welcome. Let me see. Hey, Marsha, husband died in August 2010. I have 48 of his Hawaiian shirts. I was planning on making my kids quilt with them. Haven't done it yet. Oh, see. Hey, Crack the Essay. In regards to the ironing over the mesh does not shrink. I do this often. I'm in Northern Virginia too. Hey. Yeah, I haven't seen anything shrink at all. I mean, I never had a problem with it, and stuff. It seems to always work. But I use a heat press. I don't know what the Crafty Etsy does. I think you probably might use a heat press as well, but it's always does evenly. I've never seen anything, shrink or anything. So guys, I am going to call it the night because I am still a little tired and stuff because, last night I was driving 14 hours all the way over here. And I want to get some rest because tomorrow when I wake up in the morning, I do have to embroider the towels for my cousin. And then also I have to, I want to do those handkerchiefs for my friend's ceremony that's happening on the 27th of this month. So even though I have plenty of time, but I don't want to wait till the last minute because I do have other bulk orders that are coming my way. So, I want to get those done so that way I can work with my other customers and stuff like that. So guys, I hope you like the sewing room and all the information that I shared with you guys. Tomorrow morning, when I get up, I will update the video description and add the links of some of the things that you guys had asked about. If you guys need anything else, if you have questions about any of the other items that I had in the sewing room and stuff like that, let me know. And then I will put the links to those products in the video description for you. So that way, you can do the research and see if it's something that you want and stuff. But pretty happy with the turnout. I think it came out really, really nice. And I think it's going to work out really well for me and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about it and stuff. So guys, I am going to call it the night because I'm like pretty super tired and everything. And I will see you guys next Friday. So I'm planning on videotaping the handkerchief video for you guys because I'm going to work on that. And maybe I'll do my cousin's towel as well for her practice because this towel is going to be a little different. It's going to be embroidered on both sides. And this is something I've never done before. And I thought that was pretty cool what she wanted to do. So I'm probably going to film that as well so that you guys can see how I did that. And if you guys have a customer that wants to do something like that and everything, you'll know exactly how to do it. So you guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me this Friday. And I hope you liked the sewing room. Like I said, you guys take care. Happy sewing, happy embroidering, and have an awesome weekend. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.